Mauryans ruled over the Indian subcontinent from 322 BC to 185 BC, and interestingly, Vedavyas, the writer of Vedas, had predicted that the Mauryans will rule for 137 years, Saptatrinchat Shata. Over 5000 years ago, he had also predicted in Srimad Bhagavatam that Chanakya will betray King Nanda and enthrone Chandragupta. In Vedas, there is a description of a baby growing inside mother's womb. It is written that after 10 nights of conception, the baby takes a plum-like shape. Structure of head is formed in about a month, and in 2 months other limbs take shape. Hunger is felt by the child in about 5 months, and so on. Isn't it astonishing that a sage sitting in Badrinath in 2500 BC knew about embryology way before the ultrasound was invented in 1956? What I want to say is that Vedavyas is not a fiction writer, but it was science that he wanted his future generations to know of. Our ancestors had the exact knowledge about many departments of life and science, like the famous iron pillar in Delhi, which has been there for 1500 years without rusting. That's a perfect example of how our ancestors knew about alloys and furnaces centuries ago. There are many references in Rigved, Atharvaved, Brihad Viman Shastra by Vedavyas and Maharshi Bhardwaj which talk about metallurgical processes. Meditation, that is Dhyan Yoga, is explained in 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and we know how it has helped people around the world with their mental and physical health. Ayurvedic medicines that are used even today. And what makes this treatment special is that it doesn't have any side effects like allopathy. This proves that the Vedas are not just stories, but we can learn the holistic science from them for our mental, physical, and spiritual needs. There are some debates around the authenticity of Vedas. People say that the Aryans wrote Vedas when they invaded India to develop fear amongst people. We think scriptures are regressive. They propagate caste discrimination and untouchability, and they impose so many restrictions. I'll tell you why that's not true. About caste, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that the 4 divisions of society, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, are not based on birth but the quality of work. Guna Karma Vibhagasha. Actually, scriptures are the answers to our critical problems. In Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna has asked 16 questions, and Krishna has replied to him in 574 verses. And those answers are valid even today. They are not just for Arjuna, but for each one of us. Bhagavad Gita talks about anger. Krishna says, Tasmat tvam indriyani adav niyamya bharatrishabha. Anger, which is the enemy of the world, lives in senses, mind and intelligence. And to control this anger, we need to regulate these 5 senses. In 2nd chapter, Krishna and Arjun discussed about how to be fearless and mentally stable. Sthit pragyasya ka bhasha. About tolerance, Krishna says, Shita ushna sukha dukkhada tan stitikshasva bharata. That happiness and distress are temporary and they change like seasons. Hence we must learn to tolerate them. Now, how to be fearless and tolerant is discussed in further chapters of Bhagavad Gita. There's an ocean of knowledge in our Shastras, and if you are curious to know why we came into being and is there a purpose of our lives, you will definitely get your answers in Bhagavad Gita. Thanks for watching.